This is the Mitersaw. On the Mitersaw, we cut boards to how long we want them. So if this board is longer than I want, we're going to trim it down to the exact length that we want it. The Mitersaw has several parts to it. The main thing that we have are the fence, which is what a board rides up against. Anytime you cut on the Mitersaw, you're going to have the board all the way up against this fence. We have the blade here behind this blade guard, and it cuts that direction. Since the blade's spinning that way, this is why we always have the board against the fence, because if you go to cut your piece of wood and the blade is spinning, it's going to push it against the fence. So that's why we start with the wood there. If you cut with your board out here, those blades are going to hit the board and slam it in here crooked. It's going to be a disaster. This table right here is adjustable to cut at different angles. If we want to cut an angle in our board, we could cut a 45 or several other angles in between, wherever we want to cut that. That's why it's called a Mitersaw. The Mitersaw has a handle, and the trigger to turn it on is right here on top. This switch right here is for laser lights, and if you turn this switch on, you will see two red lines, and right between those red lines is where the blade is going to cut. So all the wood between those two are going to go away. So you have to position your piece of wood exactly where you want it when you want to cut this. To use the Mitersaw, you should have a pencil mark on your piece of wood for the length you want it to be. So if I were going to cut this board at 20 inches long, I would mark it exactly at 20 inches. Place a piece of wood up against the fence and position it so one of those red lines is right on my pencil mark. Hold the board up against the fence, squeeze the trigger, press down all the way, let go of the trigger, and raise the blade. That's our scrap piece of wood, and this board is now cut to the exact length we wanted, right at the pencil mark. That's good.